I spent 10 hours driving my mother-in-law to her doctor appointments. She called me her angel. Then one day, I heard her on speakerphone with my husband. Get rid of her. You'll never grow with her chained to you. He said nothing. That night, he told me he needed space. I moved into my car. A week later, I got an envelope on my windshield that. My name's Rachel. I'm 42, no kids, married late, thought I hit the jackpot with Craig. He was quiet, steady, had a good job doing something in civil engineering. I never cared much about the details. What mattered was that he didn't yell, didn't cheat, so I thought, and showed up to dinner every night. That was enough for me. We live in Lodi, California. Quiet place, not much going on except grapes and heat. I worked front desk at a dental clinic, didn't make much, but it kept me busy. When Craig's mom, Janice, had her fall and couldn't manage stairs anymore, we brought her in. She had bad knees, arthritis, some other issues I couldn't even pronounce. Craig said, "It's just until she's better." That was 2 years ago. She moved into our guest room with her recliner and her loud opinions. She'd say things like, "You make decent chicken, but my mother's had more flavor," and then wink like it was a joke. I played along. She was old, in pain, and lonely. I told myself she needed kindness. I became her personal driver. No exaggeration. I once tallied it, and in a single week, I spent over 10 hours taking her to and from appointments. Kaiser in Stockton, a pain specialist in Sacramento, and later, a nerve mapping doctor in San Francisco. I took notes at her appointments. I reminded her about meds. I even cleaned her damn foot brace. She called me her angel. "Rachel, you're a saint. I don't know what I'd do without you." I'd smile and say, "That's what family's for." I didn't even ask for gas money, even though prices were killing us. Then came the Tuesday that broke me. She had an early appointment in San Francisco, and I offered to drive. I packed her snacks, a water bottle, her heating pad, even the crossword she liked. She was in a better mood than usual, wearing one of her good wigs, and we joked about the traffic on the way there. Halfway across the Bay Bridge, her phone rang. Bluetooth picked it up automatically. Craig's name showed up on the screen. I figured she'd just chat while we drove, no big deal. But the second the call connected, her voice changed. "You need to grow a pair," she said. "She's holding you back, Craig. Get rid of her. You'll never grow with her chained to you." I waited for him to defend me. Just a word. A breath. Silence. Then a short laugh. His laugh. Not nervous. Not awkward. Just real. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My hands went cold. My stomach dropped like I was falling. Janice must have realized I could hear. She reached for the screen and ended the call. Then she gave me this fake little laugh. "Oops, didn't mean to answer on speaker." I said nothing. I didn't trust my voice. I just kept driving. We made it to the appointment. I helped her in. Smiled for the nurse. Pretended everything was normal. Then I drove us all the way back, barely listening to her complain about lunch. When we got home, Craig was waiting on the porch like he had something serious to say. That night, he told me he needed space. That was it. No argument. No explanation. No "we'll work on it." Just space. I packed a duffel bag and left. I had no parents, no close friends, nowhere to go. I parked my car behind the Walmart on Cattleman Lane. Spent the night curled in the back seat with a blanket I'd left in the trunk. I lived out of my car for a week. Took showers at the gym. Ate from vending machines. Cried in the dark more times than I'll ever admit out loud. Then, one morning, I came out of the gym before sunrise. Dew still on the windshield. There was an envelope under my wiper. No name. No return address. Just a single sheet of paper inside. You don't deserve what they did to you. Janice is lying. Check the SD card in the yellow photo box. It stopped me cold. I read it 3 times. I hadn't told anyone what happened. I didn't have a phone anymore. Craig shut off the family plan. But I knew exactly what yellow photo box they meant. It was Janice's. She kept it in the hallway closet, beneath the old photo albums. A battered yellow shoebox, duct tape on the corners. I'd moved it a dozen times while cleaning. That meant someone had been in that house. Someone who knew what I'd been through. I still had the garage code. I was going back. It was almost midnight when I drove back to the house. The lights were off, but I knew their routine. Craig was probably snoring on the couch. Janice never made it past 10 p.m. anymore. I parked 2 blocks away and walked. Quiet steps. Hoodie up. Heart racing. I still remembered the code, 1173. Craig's stupid birthday. The garage door creaked, slow and loud. I held my breath. Waited. No movement. I slipped inside, past the storage shelves, into the kitchen. Everything looked the same. Janice's teacup was still on the counter. The chicken smell was still in the air. It made me sick. I opened the hallway closet. Second shelf down. Yellow box right where I left it. I grabbed it and left. Quick. Back to the car. I didn't open it until I was parked under the freeway bridge near the rail yard, my new safe spot. The box was full of old photos, mostly of Janice and her church friends. But taped under the lid, tucked in tight, was a tiny SD card in a plastic bag. I popped it into an old digital camera I still had in the glove box. The screen lit up. 39 video files. I clicked the first one. It was a recording, hidden camera footage. From inside the house. Janice. Craig. In the kitchen. 6 months ago. Janice, you think she'll fight the divorce? Craig, she won't. She's too soft. Janice, good. Because if she pushes, I can get that letter from Dr. K again. Say she's unstable. She'll lose everything. Craig laughs, you're ruthless. Janice, that's why I win. My hand shook. I watched another video. And another. They'd been planning it for months. Setting me up. Talking about hiding money, changing Craig's account passwords, even lying about Janice's health to keep me busy while they moved things behind my back. She never needed half those appointments. The whole thing, every thank you, every you're an angel, it was a game. By the 5th video, I was sobbing so hard I couldn't see the screen. I had given her 2 years of my life. Wiped her mouth after procedures. Drove her to get her hair done when she had a rash on her scalp. Cancelled my own appointments just to sit in waiting rooms with her. And the whole time, they were planning to erase me. I didn't sleep that night. I watched every single video. Took notes. Wrote down timestamps, transcribed parts by hand. Then I called the only person I knew who might help. Lenny. He worked security at my old clinic. Big guy. Quiet. But smart. He once helped me find a patient's stolen wallet using backdoor camera footage. I had no idea if he left the note, but I knew he had the skills. He picked up on the first ring. Rachel? Yeah, I said. My voice was cracked from crying. He paused. You got the envelope. You? I whispered. Meet me tomorrow. Same diner on Cherokee Lane. Next day, he slid a burner phone across the table. You've got enough evidence to ruin them, he said. But we're not going to the cops. Not yet. Why not? Because we're going to burn them the way they burned you. Slow. Smart. And loud. I didn't think I had revenge in me. But sitting across from Lenny, Hearing that calm voice, watching him lay out a plan on a napkin, I started to believe I could do it. We started by making copies of the videos. Stored them on cloud drives, USBs, mailed one to my cousin in Arizona just in case. Then I got a new job. Cleaning houses under a fake name. Cash only. Quiet work. I needed to stay under their radar. Lenny used an old favor to get Janice's new prescription switched temporarily. She was getting sugar pills for a week before the pharmacy corrected it. She thought her memory was slipping worse than usual. Craig started getting anonymous emails. Screenshots of the video transcripts. One line at a time. First one just said, "She's not as soft as you think." He changed his locks. But I still had the garage code. 3 weeks passed. I kept my head down. Cleaned houses. Slept in the car when I had to. Watched Craig and Janice unravel from a distance. I knew Craig was cracking when I saw him sitting alone outside the Starbucks on Hem Lane, staring at his phone like it had just slapped him. Janice looked worse every time I saw her, hair thinning, bruises on her arms from bumping into things, and that mean sparkle in her eye? Gone. The sugar pills had done their damage. Temporary confusion, dizziness, and panic that maybe her mind was slipping faster than expected. Lenny didn't even need to keep it up. Her own fear did the rest. Then came the bank notice. Lenny had a friend who worked at the branch where Craig kept his accounts. She mailed me a copy of the joint account closure form. Craig had moved all the money into a new account under his name only. He was cutting Janice out too. I waited. Then I used my last $200 to print full-page screenshots of one video, Craig admitting he was faking his marriage for money. I slid copies under the doors of every neighbor on the block, mailed one to his boss, and one to Janice's church. Then I made a burner Facebook account. I posted 3 videos with the caption, "This is what a good son and a grateful husband looks like." The posts went live at 6:03 p.m. on a Sunday. By 8 p.m., Craig's job had called him. By 10, Janice's church group posted a statement saying they were saddened and disturbed. But that wasn't the twist. The real twist came Monday morning, when I got a call on the burner phone. Unknown number. Male voice. Fast. "You need to come see something." It was Lenny. I met him behind the old feed store near Victor Road. He didn't say anything, just handed me a USB and a printout. "What is this?" "Surveillance from Craig's office." He made a mistake. I plugged the USB into a library computer. It was video footage from the office's breakroom camera. From 2 months ago. Craig. And another woman. Not just kissing. Whispering. Laughing. She handed him a flash drive. He tucked it in his coat. Lenny pointed to the printout. "She's a paralegal. Works for divorce attorneys out of Stockton. That flash drive? Probably holds evidence, financial, maybe even legal advice." So he planned to take everything. Lenny nodded. "He was planning to say you were abusive. He was going to sue you for spousal support." I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because I'd been stupid enough to think space meant maybe he was confused. But he wasn't confused. He was building a trap. So I set one of my own. I texted him from the burner. "I forgive you. Can we talk?" He replied in 10 minutes. "I'd like that." We set the meeting for Thursday. A park near Lockford Street. Open. Public. Safe. He showed up in slacks and sunglasses, like he was the victim. I kept calm. I let him talk. Let him say he was sorry for how things had gotten out of hand. That he still cared about me. Then I handed him a manila envelope. He opened it. Inside, copies of the bank form, screenshots of his messages with the paralegal, and a still image from the office footage, him kissing her, mid-grab. His face drained. I don't want your apology, I said. I want you to know who you're dealing with. He opened his mouth, but I stood up. One more move, Craig, and I'll make sure your next employer gets the full video reel. Maybe even your mother's doctor, if she ever tries to fake another medical condition. He didn't follow me when I walked away. I could feel the shift. The control was mine now. But it wasn't over. Because 3 days later, someone tried to break into Lenny's apartment. The call came in just after midnight. Lenny's voice was tight, fast, like he was holding his breath. Someone tried my lock, he said. Left scratch marks. My camera caught movement but no face. They knew where it was. I sat up in my car, heart pounding. I was still parked near the edge of town, behind the old Vineyard Co-op. Cold night. Silent. Think it was Craig? I asked. Could have been. But there's something else. Lenny paused. Then said, Rachel, your old house? Janice isn't there anymore. What do you mean? I drove by earlier, just watching. Ambulance came around 7. No sirens. Just parked, went in, came out. She wasn't on a stretcher. She walked out. Got in the back. I blinked, trying to make sense of it. She could barely move last month, I said. She needed a walker just to get to the kitchen. She was moving fine. Looked almost healthy. The silence between us was heavy. That's when something clicked. The sugar pill mix-up. The exaggerated pain. The accidental speakerphone call. The staged helplessness. The entire medical act. What if Janice had been faking everything from the start? What if she wanted me to leave? Wanted Craig all to herself, and the money? What about Craig? Still in the house. Alone now, Lenny said. I think she ditched him. I didn't know how to feel. Relief? Rage? Something worse? Then the real twist landed. Next morning, I got an email from an address I didn't recognize. No subject. One sentence inside, he's not your only problem. Attached was a blurry photo. It was Janice, sitting in a diner. Across from her? The paralegal. Same woman from the office footage. Hair pulled back, laughing, notebook in front of her. And in the photo? A check. Signed. By Janice. I stared at the screen, frozen. She wasn't helping Craig screw me over. She was helping someone else screw him over. A bigger game. A longer con. She had played us both. Lied about her health. Lied about her finances. Made Craig think he was in charge, then slowly took the rug out from under him. And the best part? Craig didn't even see it coming. That day, Craig's bank account was emptied. Janice's name had never been on it, but the signature on the wire form matched hers. She'd gotten access somehow. I checked the local court dockets. 3 days later, Janice filed elder abuse charges. Against Craig. Claimed he withheld care. Falsified prescriptions. Emotionally neglected her. And then she vanished. No one's seen her since. Not Craig. Not the neighbors. Not even her old friends from church. Lenny and I pieced it together. She used me to make herself look fragile. Used Craig to move the money. Used the paralegal to build a legal safety net. Then when things were just messy enough, she stepped out clean, leaving scorched earth behind her. Craig was under investigation. The paralegal quit her firm. And me? I still had all the original footage. Janice didn't beat me. 3 weeks later, I stood outside the San Joaquin County Courthouse with a flash drive in my coat pocket and sweat in my palms. This was it. Craig had been arrested 2 days prior. Elder abuse. Wire fraud. Prescription tampering. His mugshot was on the news. They showed a photo of Janice in a wheelchair, holding a tissue, looking heartbroken. But I knew better. I had all of it. Every lie. Every video. Every voice clip. The truth. I walked into the DA's office that morning with Lenny beside me. We gave them everything. The videos of Janice faking symptoms. Of her laughing about the sugar pills. Of her coaching Craig. The fake prescriptions. The bank forms. Even the photo of her meeting the paralegal, with the check. The DA's eyes widened. Where did you get all this? Don't ask, I said. They reopened the case. The next week was chaos. Janice's attorneys tried to block the new evidence. Claimed I was bitter, unstable. That I forged the footage. But the digital timestamps didn't lie. The SD card's origin. The medical timelines. All of it was real. Craig cracked under pressure. In a plea deal, he admitted to everything, how Janice manipulated him, how they planned to make me look crazy, how she told him he'd get everything if he just played along. He said she promised to take care of the legal stuff if he shut up and followed her plan. She even made him believe I was cheating. The court dropped the elder abuse charges. But Craig still faced fraud, perjury, and conspiracy. He got 4 years. And Janice? Gone. No trace. The check she wrote came from a separate trust. Money never tied to Craig. Her old friend from Arizona, who she claimed was dead, was seen picking her up the night she left. She knew the system. Played it like a violin. I thought I'd feel peace. But I didn't. I felt used. Filthy. I had spent years being a good wife, a kind daughter-in-law. I thought patience and loyalty would pay off. But it didn't. Kindness made me a target. One night, I drove to the ocean. Just sat there, watching the waves crush the rocks, thinking about everything. I could have walked away quietly. Started fresh. Instead, I did one last thing. I mailed copies of the footage to every church Janice ever belonged to. I sent her nursing records, pharmacy logs, the video of her dancing around the kitchen after pretending she couldn't stand. I didn't stop there. I created a website, The Angel and the Snake. Laid out the full story, with every document, every voice memo, every lie. Within weeks, her name became a warning. Online forums tore her apart. The church blacklisted her. One of her old neighbors posted that Janice used to scam hospice funds in the 90s. Another woman said she faked a heart condition for insurance money in Bakersfield. Janice couldn't hide anymore. I never found her. But I know she saw it. Because one night, my burner phone buzzed. Unknown number. Just one text. You should have stayed quiet. I smiled. Replied with one word. Never. Then I tossed the phone into the Delta River and drove away. Now, I rent a small place in Elk Grove. Clean houses. Read. Sit in silence sometimes, still trying to understand how people like her exist. But I'm not broken. I'm awake. If you're reading this, thinking kindness is your shield, it isn't. It's a light. And some people will use it to see where to stab. But me? Next time someone tries? I won't just hold the light. I'll burn the whole damn place down with it.